So I just wanted to briefly demonstrate. I am getting ready to bind off. This is my final row. I am making a cardigan, and I wanted to make sure that both sleeves are the same length so that I have the same amount of rows on each one. I've seen a few other videos talk about how to knit two sleeves at once, but I've never seen them use the stitch markers. And what I did was, when I started, like at the beginning, this is the left and the right sleeve. When I started at the beginning with the ribbing, I would take a stitch marker, like one of these. I would take one of my stitch markers and like connect it here at the bottom on the same row, so I know where I am in placement, and I would keep those two rows together. And because I knit on circular knitting needles, once you finish the row, we can kind of come back around, and I wanted to make sure I had the same amount of rows from the base or the beginning, because I'm knitting from the bottom of the sleeve up to, from the wrist part of the sleeve up to the shoulder. I wanted to make sure I had the same amount of rows. So I used stitch markers to make sure that once I finish the row and I come back around, I would have the same amount of stitches each time. So what I'm doing now is just going to do a quick bind off on this last two rows. On this last row. I have a row for the left side and I have a row for the right side, and I'll just be binding these two rows off, and then both of my sleeves should be the same size, the same amount of stitches on each side. So I'm just going to do just a quick, ooh, this camera angle is kind of weird for me, do just like a quick knit, and then slip that over for a bind off, and then a knit, and slip this one over for a bind off, and then a knit, and then slip that over for a bind off. And I think I had about 14 stitches left on this for the final bind off. I believe it was 14 stitches. I used a pattern that I got from Line Brand Yarns. Now I actually used the pattern, but I did not follow the color scheme. This is actually a Hogwarts inspired cardigan that I'm working on. I've used like all the house colors, the scarlet and gold for Gryffindor. I've used the yellow and black for Hufflepuff. I used the green and silver for Slytherin, and I used blue and bronze, not blue and gray, for Ravenclaw. So I've actually done all of the Hogwarts colors on this specific blanket. So it's not a pattern for like a Hogwarts sweater, or a it's not like a pattern for a Hogwarts sweater or a Hogwarts themed sweater. It's just a regular cardigan, but I've used like Hogwarts colors. So I kind of went with yarn that I had. I didn't have a specific color pattern. I just had like a palette of colors that I wanted to use, and I know I wanted to use the colors for each of the houses, but I didn't have a specific pattern as to, okay, this color goes here and this color goes there. I just kind of went with whatever color I had, and it was actually yarn that was left over for a Hogwarts blanket that I'm still actually in the process on, and that is a pretty big and lengthy process, but I'll show that when I get finished with that. I'll hopefully be able to put that up, but this is just a regular bind off, but I wanted to finish this kind of on camera so you can see how not only knitting 2 sleeves at the same time, make sure that you have like both of your sleeves are the same length. Using the stitch marker guarantees that, especially if you're knitting on circular needles like I do. I've used the straight needles, but I have a difficult time using those. So circular needles just work best for me. And you don't have to worry about one sleeve coming back around. And did you knit that twice? Did you knit that once? So I feel like it works best for me. And when I first started knitting and crocheting, I was really worried about like my projects not being the right length. And like, I don't know, I mean, you probably seen like that episode of the Cosby Show where Theo like wanted a this really expensive shirt or something for a date, and Denise was like, oh, I can make it for you, and like one of the sleeves was like insanely long and the other one was like really short, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a nightmare. So I wanted to make sure I never did that, but I have some ends to weave in, but I didn't want to show the finished sleeve, that they are both going to be the same size. Hopefully I can pan that out so you can see that both of the sleeves are going to be the same length. And we got some ends to weave in, but there you go. Let's see if I can zoom that out a little bit. There we go. So both of the sleeves are the same length. They are both the same size. And I think the sweater is going to turn out really nice. And hopefully I can upload some more pictures of when we get the sweater done. I just wanted to show that quick bind off. And hopefully do some more updates for the Hogwarts sweater. Thanks for watching. Bye.